Good morning, my great people of Biafra land. Happy new month to each and every one of us. My prayers is that the Almighty Chukwuokeabiama will bless each and every one of us, grant all our heart desires through the name that is above every other name. Amen. Today is the first day of November in the year 2022, and today being Tuesday in the new week. I am not going to take much of your time, neither do I want to take my own time. We have to go straight into the business of the day. Please tighten your seatbelt and listen attentively. Invite your family and friends, your brothers, well-wishers, colleagues, wherever they are. Tell them that the speaker is here and is here for good. So please, do not leave. Leave whatever you are doing. Abandon them and listen to this news in full. The Attorney General of the Federation is speaking. Just in to release or not to release, Malami lists 4 crucial things that will determine Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. Now Malami have turned to God, who is determining people who get freed or not get freed. Even when the court says that person is free. I don't know the kind of judiciary system we are practicing in Nigeria. But let's hope for the best. That the court is the last hope of a common man is not in Nigeria. Maybe it's somewhere else. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, son, has said the Muhammad Buhari-led administration will comply with the ruling of the Supreme Court if it rules in favor of the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, where they have already inserted all the Fulanis to take care of the proceedings. So, and you want them to rule in favor of Nnamdi Kanu. How is that possible, Malami? You think you are talking to fools? You think you are talking to those who don't know their left from the right? And you come out on the national TV, they grant you an interview to be making this kind of silly statement. You better think twice, because your days are numbered. Okute News reports that Nigeria's chief law officer, however, stated that the federal government will exploit all options available to it within the context of the law in the case of IPOB leader. When the cases are exhausted, when within the context of the law, the rule of law and the decisions and conclusions are in his favor, the government will comply. But whatever option is and open and available to the government will exploit it within the context of the law, rule of law, within the context of the rights available at his disposal. Malami told Vanguard newspapers. Rule of law and orders. Rule of law and orders. We are moving forward, my good people of Biafra and the good listeners. Speaking further, the idiot Malami stated that 4 things must be looked at before the government can release the pro-Biafra activists. According to the Attorney General, the 4 things that must be considered are the rule of law, the public and the national interest, the security situation, and the international diplomacy, which you and your led government of Muhammad Buhari have failed in all. AGF Malami noted that the single case that has been determined is not the only pending case against Mazi Okechukwu Nnamdi Kanu. There are other multiple cases associated with treason. He said to release or not to release Nnamdi Kanu is a function of the law and the rule of law for that matter. In arriving at a decision whether to release or not to release, 1. You look at the rule of law. 2. You look at the public and the national interest. 3. You look at the security situation. And 4. You look at international diplomacy. Let me first talk about the rule of law. This is someone that has been granted bail on account of charges that have been preferred against him at the court to the international community. A case of fugitive is established against the background of bail jumping. 2. arising from national security. This is someone that is charged with treason, inciting of the public, destruction of civil authority, a kind of murder and assassination of others on account of his incitement that boils down to issues that bother us on issues of national security and criminality. So this is what you are telling us. This is what you went inside your own house, forged it with your collaborators or your conspirators, and came out on the Vanguard newspaper to make fool of yourself. Who are these your collaborators, if I may ask? Because those who are giving you advice on this very particular issue is not advising you well. So you better think twice. If those people love you, they will let you to know that you are going the wrong way. So, Abubakar Malami, the earlier you retrace your step, the better for you, because what is coming to you from international community will be bigger than what you can imagine. You are charging somebody for jumping bell. But the same government sent troops, military troops, went to Ibeku in the home of Nnamdi Kanu. At night, you call it a python dance. A python dance to non-state actor who have nothing, who have neither sword nor machete, just the words of mouth, and went there to kill him. In the course of invading his house, his father died. In course of invading his house, many souls of the supporters who is around his house were murdered in cold blood. Till today, no government, no any institute, no any offices have ever came out to say all these things. Not even the Igbo elites, nor the rich men in Abia State have ever come out to probe the government of what they have did. Instead, they went and embraced the government to the extent of telling the government that let him come to their state. He will take them around to all the whole bushes, that they will covet anyone they find in the bush with AK-47 or whatever should be killed. Now those bushes are meant to be farming. That is all Jews or Carlo. That is the people we are dealing with. There is the same person that said that. In the other hand, I don't know which kind of people do we have in that Igbo land itself. When the court was discharged Nnamdi Kanu and acquitted him, he made that statement just before the court sitting. And after the court sitting, he came on a national TV and began to blab and say the federal government is supposed to obey the court ruling. And also all kind of kinego, just to clear himself from what he said earlier. After that, the APC government removed his name from campaign list. Can you see it? That these people have been committed in one way or the other. If you make any comment that will be to the interest of the Igbos or to the interest of the IPOP or that will benefit the Nnamdi Kanu, your name and whatever you represent is at risk. They didn't probe him simply because his mother is a strong woman. You people can attest to that. It was all over the internet. And even Tinubu, who is contesting for election, went to pay homage to Mama Odus Okalo. So you people can see why they did not probe him or why they did not send EFCC after him, although they have tried earlier on. But for the interest of that his mother is still alive, that is why they released him. And with the person they released, they initiated him back to the Senate or House of Assembly. Let him control from where he stops. Let him control the looting or siphoning public funds, or the more funds that is meant for the public or meant for Abia State, for the development and infrastructure. All of them have been siphoned by all these never-do-well politicians we have in the eastern region. I don't know where to start and I don't know where to end, because any matter that is concerned the politicians in the region, I'm not talking about other regions, they can do whatever they like, that is for them. But I am talking about the easterners, where I came from. They said wise men came from the east. But what we have at this present day is blockheads, wise men, who knows nothing about wisdom. All they know is get that money, get that federal allocation, set allocation, every revenue that is coming to the state or local or province or whatever it is, they will siphon all into their personal accounts and into the accounts of their families. Not in Nigeria, but overseas, abroad. When that person demise over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 10 to 15 years ago coming, that person looted funds will also be recovering. The ones that they can see. The one that they cannot see, the countries where this money have been looted and deposited will use it for their own development. And our country, our own side, our own locality, our roads will keep on dying and be dilapidating on daily basis. And you tell me that these are people that meant well for our people. During the campaign, they make all series of promises, bringing in manifesto that have nothing to do with a human being. Don't give us manifesto. Tell us what you are going to do and stand on your promises. Manifesto have never helped anybody. 2015 election, APC government led by Muhammadu Buhari now promised Nigerians 62 promises. 62 promises was in their manifesto, just a very heavy, like Oxford dictionary. But none of those promises have been accomplished. Everything that I've wrote on that manifesto is the other way around. They are going to give us work from 10 or 15% of unemployment we have then 2015 before they assume office. Now we have over 60% of unemployment. That is the other way around. They are going to make dollar 1 to 1 from 196. You assume office in 2015. Now dollar is close to 800 naira per dollar. It's the other way around. So you are going to make the food and everything, inflation to be normal. Now we have the highest inflation in the history of Nigeria. That is Buhari for you. Well, my dear people, if I keep counting and counting and counting, we are not going to stop. But we will also be airing our views on what is happening in the country and in Biafra at large, so that people will not say no one to speak. Despite the fact that when you speak, you die. Even if you keep silent, you die. So why not speak and wait for what will happen? Because only God that is a high power to kill us, not human beings. 3. On account of international diplomacy, this is someone that has turned against his person, using the international community or a foreign country to launch an attack against a nation, against his nation. For example, for that matter, so all this naturally come into play to determine what you do. So if you have equally gone through judiciary processes, multiple cases, a case of treason, a case of homicide, a case of jumping bail, among others, the fact that you have indeed succeeded in one case as opposed to multiple others that are pending go to establish the fact that that case cannot be the only basis and criteria for determining whether you are entitled to be released or not, says by Malami Abubakar. So the simple question is whether what the federal government has done by way of not releasing Kanu is justified within the context of the law. And my answer is yes, it is justified. This is because the single case that has been determined is not the only pending case against Kanu, and there are other multiple cases associated with treason. There exist multiple appeals that are pending and yet to be determined. And then again, there are international public interest dimensions. And the essence of the government is the sentence of the public and not an individual interest. That is what Malami is telling us. That Nnamdi Kanu cannot be released, or the Supreme Court have to decide whether he is to be released or not to be released. According to him, he said that if the Supreme Court should judge in the favor of Nnamdi Kanu, then, not that he will be released though, then that they, the cabals, the Fulanese Janjaweed, the Fulanese conspirators, and those ones who sold Nnamdi Kanu off, we then stay together, then organize or strategize on how to also release him or not to release him. So going to Supreme Court, even if the Kanu get justice there, does not guarantee his freedom, according to Malami. That is what he said, and that is what I'm trying to explain to the public about what a person that calls himself the Attorney General of our federation, of our country, and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, who attended a night school law, whether in Nigeria or in a camp of the Almajiris. Look at what he is saying. Somebody who is a custodian of law is now the person that is making the law to look irrelevant to the people. When we are growing up, we are told that the court is the last hope of a common man. That is, and when I become old, I began to realize that those statements were already made. We are really made for those of us or those people who are not from Nigerians, because once you are from Nigeria and they say that court is the last hope of a common man, my dear, forget it. Forget it. Because when you get to the court, then you will know that an accuser, you accuse somebody, you can become the victim, as long as Nigerian court or police is concerned. So let's move ahead as we jump into another news for the morning or for the new month of November. Peter Obi is saying that we have money for campaigns, but not to buy of votes. That is coming from the Labour Party presidential aspirant. The leadership of the Labour Party has again dismissed reports that the party is broke and unable to finance campaigns for Peter Obi's presidential bid. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Abayomi Arabambi, clarified that the party is doing well, has financial provisions to fund campaigns, but is not interested in vote buying. Well, I think this accusation is coming from the general public, because all they are looking for now is who will give them money. All they are looking for now is who will buy whatever and come and give to them. Then after that, the next 4 years, they all will be complaining that this government is not good. Well, my dear people, if you think you can sell your conscience just because of 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 naira, you better think twice. Because nobody, I repeat, nobody is going to come to your aid when it becomes obvious, when the suffering becomes too much. When you sell your vote or your conscience for 5,000 naira, be rest assured that in the next 4 years, that you are going to spend the rest of your life in misery. So let us continue with what Arabambi is telling us concerning the people who says that the Labour Party don't have money to fund their campaigns. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Arabambi, clarified he is doing well. His financial provision to fund campaigns, but is not interested in vote buying. Of course, Peter Obi don't give shishi, and that is where he stands. Arabambi added that the Labour Party National Chairman, Julius Abure, was quoted out of context in his speech regarding the financial situation of the party. He said in a chat with the leadership, our national chairman was quoted out of context. We are not broke. We are forging ahead. We are doing well. We have our money to plan for our campaigns. We don't have money to buy votes. We are prepared for politics. Arabambi added that the party is not out to bribe voters and engage in meaningless jamborees, but we execute credible campaigns, according to. He said at least we need money to prepare for our security and campaigns. Aside from that, we don't have money for jamboree. Everyone is involved in our rally. We are fully ready. Our presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, is ready. Our party, the Labour Party, is ready, but we don't have money for bribery. We are very rich, and we are going to emerge victorious. Well, I must help you out in this, my dear brother and the speaker and the chairman of the campaign committee of Labour Party. You have spoken well. You have really spoken well, because one thing I want to let Nigerians know, you people have to put this into consideration. This system of selling of your vote for 5,000 or 1,000. Bear it in mind that whoever that give you money for a vote have already buy the entire project that he will do for you, for the community, where you come from for the constituency where you represent. He have already bought all those things with the money he spent buying your vote. So when he gets to the seat, he will first of all recover all these monies. How will he recover the money in a dying country? Is by the means of borrowing. They will borrow more so that they will recover their money. In doing so, they have put you, your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, onto 10 generations in debt that they can never even finish paying until their last day on earth. So my advice to the general public, if you are voting, please vote wisely. Do not vote because of ethnicity. Do not vote because of a tribal or tribalist. Do not vote because of religion. Make sure you vote because of competence. Vote somebody who you believe or who you can trust that will change the fortune of Nigeria or that will turn the economy around, because many people are dying out of starvation. Living in Nigeria is like living in hell. If there's anybody telling you there's a hellfire elsewhere again, one day, speak on the face of that person. The hellfire we are talking about is in Nigeria. That average family in Nigeria is living below $1. $1 a day. Whereby in other countries, the average of a poor masses in that family in that land are living below $5. So for you to say that Nigeria is going from bad to worst, they are going from bad to worst, and that is very, very bad. It is really very, very bad, and it is annoying. So my good people and dear people of Biafra land, please do not vote because that person is from your own constituency. Do not vote because he or she has given you one thing or the other, or have rendered help to you in one way or the other. Vote that person that you can trust, and whenever something goes wrong, you can be able to question that person when the person come on a live TV, on a live show, or come in a public place to address the masses. Because the kind of presidency we are presenting these days is the ones that they will not say anything. It's only their special aides, their speaker, and the Minister of Information and Culture is the one that is doing the whole thing for them. Why they keep on jumping from one country to the other in search of good doctors that will take care of their health, whereby the doctors that they have trained here, all of them have decided in running away to UK. The best doctor they have in UK is from Nigeria, and they all studied in Nigeria, not in the UK there. When you go there, you set an exam for any of them, even with the people who said that they are Uyibos that study in the highest university in the world. Nigeria will outsmart them and pass. Why they will fail? So for you to say it, that Nigerian doctors are the most trained and most qualified in the whole world. Go to Saudi Arabia, it's Nigerian doctors that are taking care of their hospitals and other things. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. The doctors cannot be taken care of. The lecturer cannot be taken care of. The teachers cannot be taken care of. Which this is the most important factor in any country or any country that want to grow. You must invest in education and the health system, because anybody that is not healthy cannot go to school. If what do they call it? If you don't pay your doctors and they go on strike, people will die. If you don't pay your teachers, they go on strike, no one will learn. All the students, all the future generation will remain illiterate. So have you seen it? But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. They pay people who made the law that don't even keep the law. That is the people who receive the highest payments. Their allowances, in monthly allowances that they collect, that is why none of them have ever agreed to go back to work again. Only jumping from one seat of the government to the other, or in the search of lower or high offices, to be siphoning public funds that is meant for the development of the country or their constituency. And you tell me that this country want to go forward. Where are they going to? Where are they going to? Somebody in Nigeria, that somebody will be in a seat. One will be in a position for over 10 to 15 to 16 years without any single project accomplished. Any single good project accomplished in his or her constituency. Tomorrow, he will still be jumping up from Senate to to the House of Reps, from House of Reps to local government chairman, from there to party chairman. That is how from there to retired government forums, and they keep receiving allowances, jumping from one this place to another. Can't they stay one place? Don't they have anything doing other than politics? This is too alarming. Let's move straight into the other news of the day. They are experienced, but we need who can be trusted. Northern elders speak on choosing the presidential candidate. So let's hear from Abdullahi Adamu Abi Kidoruke. Northern Elders Forum, NEF, says what Nigeria needs is a leader that can be trusted to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people if elected. The group maintained that all the major presidential candidates contesting in the 2023 polls are experienced managers with enough money to get them to where they are currently. But Nigerians need to subject them to more scrutiny to know who will deliver his promises if elected. The spokesman of the NEF, the spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Baba Hakim Ahmed, dropped the charge when he featured as a guest on Channels Television on Sunday's Politics. He said Nigerians need to press our candidates. We desperately need to find out who among these people should be trusted. The candidates are all hugely experienced people in terms of managing people. These are also people with enough money to get to at least a point where they are now. Candidates, their personalities should be scrutinized. Baba Ahmed called on other regions to emulate what the northern region did by giving the presidential candidate the opportunity to share their plans for Nigerians with the people. He said it will help voters in making informed decisions. If it can be replicated in other ways, it should be done. You need to press these candidates to be more specific in what they want to do, he said, maintaining that the contenders should be challenged accordingly. That is what the Northern Elders Forum spokesperson, Baba Hakim Ahmed, is telling us that we need to scrutinize all the, whether we call them applicant to, or presidential aspirant to, or presidential seekers or power seekers or those who are shouting, it is my turn, it is their turn, it is not their turn, I am qualified, I am not qualified. All of them have to be scrutinized according to Baba Ahmed. So that is what he encourages other regions to do. The Northern Elders Forum have organized their own to know what these people are capable of doing, and those ones whom they can really trust will deliver the country from where we find ourselves at the present moment. Because not making promises is the issue. The issue is fulfilling the promise you made while contesting for that very seat. But my dear Baba Ahmed, the problem we are having here is from the north. That is the problem the Nigerians are having. They are too naive playing religion politics. They like to be playing this one from our own side. How can we vote Yorubawa? Yorubawa is not really Muslim. How can we vote what do they call it? An Igbo man is Arne. Arne, that means somebody who don't know God. Because I've spent almost most of my life living in the north. I know all these things. You people cannot be trusted. So coming here to tell us who can be trusted, even if a Yoruba man qualified, highly qualified to lead the Nigerians, you people will not agree for him to rule, because you will say that he is a fake Yoruba, a fake Muslim. Then Igbo, that one is no-go area. You people will just come and condemn that person overnight. Even that person is qualified 1,000,000%. You people cannot vote him. Rather, you will choose that person you feel he is from your northern extraction or northern region and vote for that person. And when the country begin to sink, that is when you people will begin to complain. The killings that started in Nigeria is from the north. Till tomorrow, the highest place that have been the highest rate that get the abduction in this regime is not. The highest people that have killed in this regime is not. Yet you people have not learned. Those people that have been killing, none of them is Fulani. They are real Hausas are the one wiping out. But you people cannot say the truth. Yes, because Fulani hardly kill themselves. They know themselves. That is why most of them, when they have been arrested in this present government, order will come from above and all of them will be freed, no matter how many people they have killed. The one they say they are arrested in Owo, that all the killers they have arrested them. Who is sure that those people they arrested is the one that who perpetrated such a crime? We are not sure. They only told us they arrested. They arrest who? How? When? How did they arrest them? After how many months of bombing and shooting at the people who went to worship their God? So the problem we are having in Nigeria is not the Igbo, neither is it Yorubas. Or let's say the problem is Yorubas and the Hausas. Because Igbos, if you come, they trust, they believe, and they said you can deliver, they will vote for you. They don't do like tribalists or all these tribal jingoists or whatever. I say this one now is Muslim and we cannot vote for him. Rather we go to vote a Christian. Igbos never do like that. That is why the Igbo need to be respected when it comes to the affairs of Nigeria. So my good people of Biafra land, my listeners, all people who love what I'm doing, this is where I'm going to sign off from this first broadcast of this month of November. As we're edging closer to the end of the year, I pray that nothing bad will ever see any of my subscribers, my family members, all my well-wishers, and all the lovers of Biafra and lovers of freedom and the lovers of mankind. Nothing evil will ever see us. We shall see the end of this year, and this year will never see our end. As we proceed, please remember how you used to do it. Subscribe to my channel, like my content, and share it with your family and friends, your colleagues in the office. Always let them know that this platform, where what we speak is undiluted truth, is what you can hear from our mouth. We don't give fake news, and we are not fake bloggers. I get my news from the direct source, and that is why whenever I'm speaking, I speak with authority, because I know that what I'm saying is exactly how it is. Until I come your way again, I still remain your one and only Okute Daily Talk from my own Daily Thoughts Corner. Why am I gonna remain blessed? So I'm signing out. Bye for now.